Okay, we're real excited. It's game week, and the game is coming up on us. You look at Oregon. We're playing one of the top teams in the country, probably one of the most experienced teams, if not the most experienced team in the country. You look at their offense. Starts with their quarterback. I think he is well deserved of one of the top quarterbacks in the country. He can make all the throws. He can keep plays alive. Their two running backs, very impressed with those guys. Their wide receivers, the 50-50 balls come down with quite a bit. And, of course, their offensive line is the most experienced offensive line in the country, too. So that'll be a really good test for our defense. When I look at their defense, of course, they got a new defensive coordinator that came from Boise State that did a super job. A lot of multiple fronts, presents a lot of challenges. You look at their back end, they've got some very experienced guys with that. And really the first game is really all about adjustments. You work all summer. In the off season, you kind of predict what you're going to get. And usually the first quarter, whether it's offense or defense, you settle in and you figure out exactly what they're going to do as far as that goes. Really for us, it's really about the line of scrimmage. Winning the line of scrimmage on the offensive front and the defensive front. Really appreciate our fans. Looking for a big turnout in Dallas last year against Washington. We had a home field advantage. It was a huge advantage. We're hoping for the same thing. And, really looking at this season, we want to make our fans proud, our former players proud with the way we play. Just that hard-nosed, physical, disciplined, good Auburn football. That's been our message, and that won't just be the message going this game, but all season. But overall, we're really excited. Our team's excited. Our coaches are excited to get a chance to play one of the top teams in the country. And it's going to be a good measuring stick of where this team is at after this first game. Questions?
Will Anthony Schwartz be available?
Say it again?
Will Anthony Schwartz be available?
We don't know the answer to that. It could be a game time situation, as far as decision goes with that. We're hopeful, but we don't know the answer to that yet.
Yes, can you talk about the running back depth chart? Another interesting with 6 guys.
Yeah. Well, here's the positive. That is, we got a lot of confidence in all of them, and they all could possibly, play. Boobie Whitlow will be the first guy that goes out, but we could possibly play them all, and we're impressed with all of them.
Gus, Nick Coe's on, I think, 4 different positions listed as outside linebacker.
Yeah.
Can you talk about kind of what you've seen out of him?
Yeah, so Nick is going to move around. Nick's a starter. With different personnel groupings they give us, he'll move around. But he gives us a lot of flexibility. He can play outside, he can play inside, he can play off the ball. He's a very versatile player that, gives our defense a lot of flexibility.
You ever had anybody listed as an outside linebacker and a defensive tackle for both?
It's kind of rare. But I think that's a good rare.
Why outside linebacker is primary position?
Well, it depends on the personnel groupings and all that. And, after the game, it may make more sense.
Well, you got some sneaky stuff going on.
Hey, you got to wait. Coaches usually after the first game are a lot more willing to talk about different things and plans and everything that goes with that. Yeah.
Talk about Nick. Talk about how important he is to just the big picture of the defense.
Well, he's very important. He had a very good year last year. He was one of the guys that thought about leaving. He chose to come back, and he gives us a lot of flexibility, and he can play inside, and he's really good when he's a defensive tackle or nose, and he's really good when he's on the outside and rushing the passer, and then when you get him off the ball. And so he gives you a lot of flexibility. Like I said, I think that's a very good thing, moving forward, not just for this game, but the whole season.
Gus, Connors is listed on the depth chart. Has he been able to do some things?
Yeah, he's been able to, slowly get acclimated. You could see him on the field some. We'll see how that goes.
Guess how bad is a guy like Gary Walker who's not going to start and walk on, but can play?
Yeah.
Can play. You can put him in the game and not be terrified about it.
Yeah, Gary Walker gives us, first of all, he's an Auburn man. That's probably the best way to put it. He's tough. He's sacrificed a lot to get to this point, and he's on there for a reason, and he's earned that.
What's the best advice you can give Bo Nix? kind of want to first
Yeah.
start with this environment?
Yeah, well, you're talking about a true freshman that, his first starts against one of the best teams in the country, college game days there, and Herb Street's doing the game, and it's as big as it gets. But, we need to be really good around him. That's really been our message. I'm just asking him to play and to be himself, and, we're going to try to do some things he feels comfortable with. We're taking in a game plan that really is a lot built around him and what his comfort zone is and everything that goes with it. But, I'm excited for Bo. I know our team is. He's earned the right to lead us out there, and, we'll see what happens.
One might interpret that to mean that you're going to be very conservative on offense in the first game.
No, I wouldn't say that. I don't think against one of the top teams in the country you can just be conservative. I think there's a fine line, to try to put him in comfortable situations. That's probably the best way to put it, put him in comfortable situations. But, we're going to have to be balanced to have a chance to win against one of the top teams in the country. So I wouldn't take that as conservative. That probably isn't the best word to use.
You talked about DJ Williams, he missed a little time early. Came back.
But first of all, DJ had an excellent spring, and then he had a shoulder issue, and he's slowly getting back. But he is a natural runner. He's got great balance and can break tackles, and he's a tough guy too. So he's really caught Coach Williams' eye.
Yes, how do you balance? And I know you just have to probably do more work, but how do you balance personnel versus new coordinator? Going back to what Boise State, but also looking at the players.
Yeah, that's a challenge. That's a great question. You look back, and he'd been there a while, and they did a lot of different things, and you could tell they were so well coached. They knew their answers, and so you just got. He's only been there a short period of time, so you got to predict. You got to predict exactly, what they're going to do. And like I said, first games are so much about making adjustments, and probably the biggest challenge is having answers. You got to have your answers already figured out before you get here. And if you get this, you do this. And, so that's really the biggest question. But usually by the end of the first quarter, things kind of settle down, and you have an idea of what you're going to get the rest of the game.
I know you won't be specific, but is there a specific plan for Joey Gatewood as far as?
There could be. Each game will probably be different. Of course, Joey's our backup quarterback too, one play away from playing. But he's an electric type player. There's no doubt. And each game, we'll have different plans.
The right tackle, throw hands out there.
Yeah.
Playing guard.
Mm-hmm.
He made some progress.
Yeah. Brodarius is really. He feels more comfortable. He looks more comfortable out there, and you can tell every practice he's out there that he is more comfortable. And I think that was a really good personnel move, and I think that'll really help, for the future too.
Will Kevin be in the coaching booth, or will he be down?
He's going to be on the sideline. So he's going to be on the sideline, and I'm excited about that. And I think that'll be good in a lot of different ways. Of course, when I was going against him and he was at Clemson and I was a coordinator here, he was on the sidelines and just did a super job with his communication, checks, and everything that goes with it. And so I think that is going to be a really good move.
Who'll be in the press box in his place?
What's that?
Who'll be in the press
Well,
box?
Woodson will be in the press box, and then, of course, we'll have some off-the-field guys,
Was
too.
that his decision?
Yeah, it was kind of both. It was just, I think it's really, really good in both ways. I like him down there, and he likes being down there. And, in practice, that's where everybody's at. And so I think that'll be a really good move moving forward.
Does that put more pressure on Woodson? He's going to be the eye in the sky, right?
Yeah, but, you usually have a good idea. And Kevin's been on the field before calling it. And usually if you're on the field calling it, you've got a pretty good eye for what you need anyway. And you just get the information you need. Information's very specific. And Woodson's very good at it, too. He's been up there last year. And so I don't think that'll be an issue at all as far as gathering information.
You talked about Herbert earlier, just how important is it, especially in this game, to have consistent pressure on him.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's going to be a huge key. He can make all the throws, and he's got really good receivers to throw to. So you've got to make him uncomfortable, and I think that's going to be a big key. And like I said, really in the opening, it's the line of scrimmage. We need to win the line of scrimmage, and that's really where it starts for us. That's really where it starts for Auburn football, and So that's going to be a big key.
What have you seen from their running back, C.J. Verdell? When we talked to Kevin a couple weeks ago, he said that he was one of the guys that really concerned him when scheming up for them.
Yeah, there's no doubt. I mean, he's got speed and, one play drive type running back, that he can take it to the house in big plays. And, the other freshman running back, too, is our sophomore running back, last year was a freshman, is very talented, too. So they got two running backs that we think are very good.
Coach, it's the first time you're playing Oregon since 2011. Do you ever reflect back on some of the memories from that national championship win?
Sometimes in the off season, you reflect back on certain things, but that was a while ago, and of course, great memories. That's a great game, but they're different now, and we're a little different now, and they're one of the top programs, and like I said earlier, I think that's warranted, especially with their experience coming back, and it'll be a really good test. I mean, we're going to find out, where we're at the very first game, and so that's the exciting thing. For that, we know we're going to get their best, they're going to get our best, and we'll see what happens.
You talked about your kickoff returners, and Sean.
Yeah.
Looks like you got some good players.
Yeah, well, both of them are capable of taking it to the house, and I think that's really a good thing. Of course, Noah's been very consistent the whole time he's been here. Sean, got some reps last year doing the same thing, and so, but both of them can really run, and so I think that's a good thing.
Well, Christian Tucker, your number one punt returner for the first
you could see both of them. That we kind of narrowed it down to those two. Both of them have earned it, and like I said last week, that was really the big question mark. But you could see Javaris or Christian returning kicks in this first one, and we got confidence in both of them.
You having been born in Irving, Texas, any special qualities of the game here? Have you ever coached a game here before?
No, I've never coached a game, so it's pretty neat. Still have a lot of family around the area and a lot of friends around the area, so that's always special, to go back. And, of course, like I said, I grew up a big Dallas Cowboy fan in the day and all that, so that'll be pretty neat.
Not going to wear a Coach Landry hat? Or...
No, I'm not going to wear a Coach Landry hat. I'm just going to wear my visor and be me.
You ever imagine that you'd be coaching in the same place as the Dallas Cowboys?
No, I never did.
Do you get more?
That's an honest answer, and no more than that.
I don't know if nervous is the right word, but do you have a different feeling before a first game than you do later on?
Yeah, it's probably excitement. Okay, it's excitement. You're curious about your new team, or the new year of the team, and what they're going to do. And you think as a coach, you prepare them, you put them in all these different situations. But there's nothing like getting out there a new year, and you got a new team, and usually the dynamics of your leadership changes in the offseason and all that, and see what it's about. And in the first game, you learn a lot about your team, not just on the field, but how you react to situations, how you react to good things, bad things, who's going to step up when the game's on the line to make a play, and who's improved from last year. So I would say the best thing is probably the excitement of going in to the first game.
Would you rather go win against somebody that you're pretty sure you're going to beat?
You want to win, all right? You want to win, but the flip side is when you're playing one of the best teams in the country, you get the advantage of seeing exactly where you're at. Because there's some teams that play teams that are lesser, and they don't really know exactly where they're at, maybe until later in the season. And the same, for us last year. And so, I think that's the positive of playing a team the first game.
You feel like, too, it helps your team become more prepared for a season, knowing what's out there first?
No, here's what I think is whatever gets exposed versus a good team. And you can make adjustments quicker, as if you're playing a lesser opponent, they may not be exposed. So that's the positive of playing a team, that is one of the top ones.
I know you say you never thought you'd be coaching in Cowboy Stadium, but is it something you ever dreamed about?
Probably so. Probably so. But when you asked the question, I was thinking about when I was in high school and growing up and all that. But once you get in college, everything changes as far as that. But growing up, that would have been real special if somebody would have told me that growing up, that you get a chance to coach in that stadium. That'd be a really, really cool deal.
Talking about the importance of this game
Yeah, we just try to keep it within our box. I mean, it's an important game for Auburn. We're playing one of the top teams, and it's real similar to last year. Like I said, it's important in that aspect.
Anything else? All right, good.
All right, thank you all.
For those of you